Manifestation Pod. We are Louise and Sam, two ordinary mums living extraordinary lives through friendship, self-improvement, manifestation, the law of attraction, and a little bit of the magic. We look forward to you joining us on our fortnightly podcast.
Hello, welcome to episode 26 of the Manifestation Pod with me, Sam Fillingham, and Louise Marshall. Hi, Louise.
Hi, you okay?
I'm good. How are you doing? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been really good. I can't remember an absolute thing that I've done. What have I been doing this week? I've just been vibing very high this week. I've been in like a super productive mode all week, quite effortlessly as well. It's just happened, and that's made me feel good. My house is clean and tidy. Work is all up to date and done. I feel quite on top of things, which is very unusual. And I'm feeling good. How about you?
It's a nice place to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm feeling good. I was poorly last time we recorded, so I had a bit of a quiet week because I was still poorly all week, but I'm feeling better now. And yeah, feeling good. I was just telling you before I joined a little online community this morning. It's a new one that Faye Jahan's doing, Unleash Your Magic. And it was just lovely way to start Sunday, like journaling and meditating and all the things that I enjoy. So yeah, I've had a very good Sunday so far as well.
Oh, that's nice. I've been out all day. I've been out for lunch and a walk. The weather has been glorious, so I've really made the most of the weather the last few days. I've got daffodils in the garden. It's February.
That's mad. That is early, isn't it?
It really is.
To see if mine have sprouted. Not quite yet. Not quite.
Yeah, I've got a couple. The weather's nuts. I've just noticed on my laptop, it's another record high. It's the fourth one we've had this week where the temperature has been a record for this time of year. The fish don't know what's going on. So the fish stay at the bottom of the pond in winter and you don't feed them. I can't remember the reason why, but it's supposed to be really bad to overfeed them in winter. I think they can do a little bit of hibernation. And they're at the top, scrounging food. I don't know whether to feed them or not because I feel like they feel like winter's over and it's springtime. The animals must be quite confused at the moment, all the hibernating animals.
Yeah, I guess it is quite confusing, isn't it? Because I just read a weather report about near me next week and said there's a chance of snow this time next week.
Yeah, that's not good.
Confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, especially for the animals that are all waking up and going, yay, it's spring. And then next week they're going to be absolutely frozen again.
Yeah. But I mean, the light's changed and everything, hasn't it, this week? So that's just been really nice, hasn't it?
Yeah, that has definitely impacted my mood this week. I feel the days feel, a little bit longer. I feel like I can get more done. I love this time of year. I love spring. We're not even in spring, are we? We're still in winter, but it feels very, very spring-like. And yeah, it's nice. I'm really looking forward to spring summer.
Yeah. I think the amount of minutes we're getting every day of light now speed up. I think I read it was like 4 minutes extra a day now.
Oh, instead of 2. Oh, is that 2 in the morning and 2 at night?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but I think it starts off like as 2 minutes extra, doesn't it? At solstice, and then it like starts to speed up now towards the spring. So yeah, love it. Which leads nicely into what we're talking about today, really, which is health and wellness and all things life and manifestation related to that, I guess. Which was inspired by a little trip out we had last night. Do you want to tell everyone where we went?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. So last night we got free tickets actually. So big shout out to the person that gave us free tickets. That was very generous. We got tickets to the theatre in Buxton to see Michael Mosley, who is a doctor. He's done a programme on TV. I think it might have been Channel 4. Oh, what was it called? Something on the lines of people that are either ill or unhealthy through the diet, he goes in and looks at. They all started saying they eat really healthily, but then when he looked at the shopping trolley, they really didn't. And he was kind of curing health conditions by changing diet. And he also did the Blue Zones, How to Live to 100. Which was on. It was on a while ago because I caught it on Netflix, but that was really good. I love the Blue Zones. Makes me want to up sticks and move, to Okinawa or Sardinia or any one of those places, really, because they live the kind of life that oh God, I'd love to live that kind of life. Moving more, big sense of community, eating really healthily, eating really fresh food. So we went to see him last night, and it was so inspiring. I think as well, the amount of people that were there, I was thinking this afterwards, there's a lot of people, aren't there, that really care about the health and care about like the food that they put inside. And I'm on a bit of a journey at the moment. So I don't want to use the word diet because I'm definitely not on a diet, although I do need to lose weight. But I'm doing intermittent fasting and I am eating more protein and eating more healthily, but also cutting down on. So I eat a lot of fruit. I've kind of cut out a lot of fruit and I'm eating more veggie-based products. And I'm finding that, oh my God, I've got bags of energy, like tons of energy. I feel so much better through the day. I'm not slumping after lunch. I'm not having a 3 o'clock, oh, I need a snack. I've kind of cut out sugar. I'm still having dark chocolate. I still find that kind of within the season of a woman's cycle, there are certain days of the month. I bought a box of Thornton's chocolate for Valentine's for myself because I felt like, I don't know, the weather was rubbish on Valentine's night. I was staying in on my own. I was watching a film. I wanted to treat myself. I ate the entire box of chocolates and I felt horrific afterwards. And I ended up going to bed early because I felt so shit. And I was lying in bed thinking, oh my God, I feel like I weigh 50 stone. I felt like I was spread out all over the bed. I did not feel good. And it's just so interesting how food can make you feel so ill or so good and energized. And a lot of what he covered last night was stuff that I've been doing. But yeah, it was just really, really interesting.
It was really interesting. And I thought it was like really kind of accessible. Like he was talking about stuff anyone could do, like right now, to make some changes, which is really appealing. It didn't feel like beyond, me or anyone. So that was really good. And just, really simple and straightforward and easy. So one of the things he said, he's talking about like physical strength and how important that is. And I'm not like on any particular plan, but I mean, we've talked about our goals on the pod, and we've both got health goals this year that are really important to us. So I've been working on those. And some of the things he said about physical strength were like, just get up in the morning and do a couple of push-ups and some squats and balancing on one leg for like 30 seconds, just really quick. And I just thought, like, how easy would that be just to get out of bed and just do those like simple little things? So I did that this morning and it just took a couple of minutes and it was just nothing. So yeah, little things like that I took away from it. Like really easy to incorporate. I mean, I'm no good at push-ups. It was, not the easiest 2 minutes of my life doing 10 push-ups, but the thought of just doing something little like that every day and increasing your strength and wellness for it was like really good. And it does just make you feel really good. Always underestimate how good it makes you feel.
Absolutely. Well, you feel like you're doing something, don't you? And the thing about I didn't do the push-ups. I did squats and I did balancing on one leg, which I absolutely nailed actually because I was putting moisturizer on at the time and still balance on one leg whilst doing things. And I timed it. I did 30 seconds on each leg, and that was fine. But that, for example, I didn't know this, but he said the second cause of death in the UK is by falling. And if you balance on one leg for 30 seconds while you're brushing your teeth, that will stop you falling. It'll make you less likely to fall. And I know from personal experience of my grandma, I think old people particularly, once they get into this falling routine, that they tend to fall once, they have physical injuries. If they've got any form of dementia, it makes it worse. And there's definitely a decline in health after the first fall. I saw it with my grandma. I've seen it with friends' grandmas. They start falling on a regular basis then, and it's kind of the beginning of the end. It's not good that it can lead to hospital stays, which I think past a certain age, if you go into hospital, the likelihood of you coming out is less and less as you get older. And yeah, you wouldn't think that, standing on one leg for 30 seconds while you brush your teeth, that's something you could do with your kids as well. That's, stuff like that. I didn't know how important things like that were. So yeah, if you can do that, that's all good. And just, I think my primary objective, especially because I had Charlotte later in life, is to be alive for as long as possible for her.
Yeah.
That's what, and to be, and when I say alive, I mean alive and well, not alive in a care home because I can barely move. To kind of stay young, to keep my body young. So yeah, that's my motivation. But yeah, I did that. I did the squats, didn't do the press ups, but I might do some later.
Exactly. The day is young.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a morning routine of when I get up, I like to go straight outside into the garden, and I do these sun salutations to like the north, the east, the south, and the west.
Wow.
And then just some little stretches to go with it. And that's my little, like, it's kind of mindfulness, really. It's stretching and mindfulness, but I really love like not talking to anyone else or interacting with anything in the world before I go and do that in the morning. So I think I will add in this to it to sort of ramp that up a little bit and increase my exercise too.
Yeah, I used to do. I'm very good in the summer. I did a routine the whole of last summer where I did half an hour every morning exercise.
Yeah.
I did some journaling. I did some reading, a self-help book for 10 minutes. I did meditation. I did this list of 5 things, I think, which came from the Miracle Morning originally, but I kind of modified it to do things that I want to do. I think I took meditation out at the end because I don't get on that well with meditating. I always fall asleep, and that's not what I want to do first thing in the morning when I've woke up. So I was really organised and methodical with that, and I loved it. I'd get up 2 hours earlier than I normally do to have this time to myself, and it felt like before my day had even started, I'd devoted a bit of time to me and my goals, health goal, eating. I used to have a cup of coffee outside in the morning, just seeing a bit of air and breathing some fresh air and having some light and watching the fish, and that felt very, very peaceful and mindful. But then as soon as it gets to winter and it's dark, I can barely get out of bed. It's getting a bit easier now. It's getting lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It is easy when it's lighter, isn't it? But yeah.
But I'll definitely do the things he said. They should be quite easy. And I think that's the thing you need to, and I think he said that, you need to find things that are not, I'm never going to get up and go to the gym in the morning. That is never, ever going to happen. So finding things you can do that are really easy for you to do individually. You can just tag it on the end of an already routine. So you brush your teeth, you can stand on one leg while you brush your teeth. It sounds, it's pretty easy, isn't it? Really, it's not taking any time whatsoever. It's just, I think my phrase for this week has been work smarter, not harder. I've used it in work, I've used it in the business, I've used it with Charlotte, I've used it in housework. And I think that's the thing with finding all these things that are good for you and make you feel good. It can feel a bit New Year's resolution-y, where you start doing these massive changes and you never stick. The small incremental changes lead to a bigger transformation. If you do it kind of small, gradual, bite-sized chunks of everything, it does make it a little bit easier and a bit easier to stick with.
Absolutely, especially when you tag it on to like existing daily routines.
Exactly.
Not going to feel too much of an extra effort then, is it? And it reminded me of like how good it feels when you are looking after your physical health and what you're eating and everything. Because I think we were talking about it last night. When I used to work at HMRC, I used to have like these chronic stomach pains like all the time. Every couple of months I'd have this massive flare up of stomach pains. And this went on for like 10 years. And I think at first, like the doctor said it was IBS. And then it was like gallbladder. And then I had my gallbladder removed, and I still had these chronic stomach problems. And they were so debilitated because when it would happen, I'd be like rolling round in like absolute agony for hours until it went. And that pain disappeared as soon as I left that job, and it has never ever come back. And it just got me thinking about it last night, about how when you're not doing things that you're not happy with and are not good for you in your life, it's amazing the effect that it has on like your whole physical being. And how your body is always trying to tell you something as well if you don't look after it.
Yeah, they're definitely inextricably linked, aren't they? Your physical health, mental health, and if you when I don't know whether I've talked about this on the pod, but when I had poor mental health in 2019, partly due to the job I was in, partly due to the menopause. And I didn't know what was wrong with me, but that manifested itself originally as this chronic, I don't even know what it was. It was like a back pain. It felt like it was a buzzing sensation going through my body. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was awful. But when I had counselling and I left the job and life got better and it stopped, my counsellor said I was in fight or flight mode pretty much 24/7. And that's what the kind of the buzzing was. It was when you're in fight or flight and you have that, something happens, say you're on a plane and you experience turbulence and the plane drops.
Yeah.
Body can go into, is something going to happen or is it going to stop? And you feel that sensation in your body. It was like that all of the time. It was awful. And it's amazing how your mental health affects your physical health to the point you think there's something serious. I mean, I thought I had a brain tumour. I was convinced I had a brain tumour because of all the symptoms I had, like brain fog, and I couldn't think straight, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I lost loads of weight.
Yeah.
All those symptoms make, if you Google all those symptoms, you're not going to get good results. They're serious symptoms.
Yeah.
And yet, it was all caused through stress. And once I realised that was kind of the first step in getting better, because once I realised that, I was like, oh, thank God for that, I'm not dying.
Yeah.
There is wrong, but it's not that. It's not that thing that I thought. So yeah, that was my first warning sign. It wasn't, I feel a bit down. It wasn't that at all. It was purely physical, and that was really scary. So yeah, they definitely linked. And to have like stomachache for 10 years, I'm sure you were the same, that you just thought, oh, it's gallbladder. Oh, it can't be gallbladder, so it must be something else. And you're just going through this elimination when actually the very thing that's wrong is your whole being is telling you that you're not where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, that you're in an environment that's like not good for you, and it's going against everything.
Everything, yeah.
For you, and you know that, and gosh, we had so many conversations over those years, didn't we? Where like I knew it was an awful environment for me, and I shouldn't have been in it. But you just, for so many reasons, stick with it, and it just really makes me think about all the work that we're doing on like listening to ourselves, and how I will never not listen to my body again, and like those signs of stress.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think me these days, I can feel it when I make a decision and it's not right. I can feel it in my gut. Physically feel it, as well as kind of that mental, oh, that doesn't feel quite right. Yeah, it's strange. Although I read, weirdly, only this morning, I read this and I was like, oh, when you read something, you think, I don't want to open that Pandora's box. But it was about something, trauma bonding. And it's about sometimes if you've been in certain relationships or you've had certain experiences in your life that are very traumatic, that can then present itself as when you're in a very healthy relationship. and in a very healthy place, it can feel not right. And that's because you've not got the stress and the drama of that thing that made you feel alive, because it was very stressful and you were in fight or flight, much of the time, that when you do something normal and good and healthy, sometimes that can feel wrong, but it isn't. Your body's not used to it. And I was like, oh shit, that is a thought to have.
That's one to think about, isn't it?
Yeah.
One to unpack with a therapist. That one,
I honestly think like the whole world needs therapy. We could all sit and
yeah. Who'd have thought that, isn't it? It really is. And it all lines up with like what all the astrologers and like the energy forecasts are saying this year as well. Because I follow this energy forecaster, Elizabeth Peru, and she's talking a lot lately about how it's so important to focus on physical health this year, and not ignoring any physical signs of any kind of problem in your body, especially this year. I mean, we all know this is always important, but especially this year, it is. And I don't know if this is just coincidence or me thinking about it, but I've quite a few friends coming down with like serious illnesses the last couple of weeks or going in hospital and stuff like that. And it made me wonder, like, is that related, if that's a sign of when we're not looking at the signs or what? I don't know. But anyway, there's only good going to come of looking after our physical selves, isn't there?
Yeah. It does. I think for me, just this sudden burst of energy. I can't believe, and we should know this because we read about it all the time, but I can't believe how different my days are just because of the way I'm eating. And I'm not particularly eating anything different. I'm just eating it in a very different way than I'm used to. So the food's the same. It's just being eaten differently. And it's just giving me loads of energy. And that's just, quite empowering that I can make that change.
It is.
I can make myself physically well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's powerful, that, isn't it? That you do actually have control over your own health.
Yeah, it's really powerful. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it all feeds into your vibe as well and your manifestation and what you attract. Because if you're feeling really good physically and mentally, then you're going to be more of a magnet to everything that you want to attract as well, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. I feel at the moment, particularly, I've got lots of good people around me. I'm feeding off. I feel other people's energy quite a lot, which is when I worked in a very toxic environment. I worked in a very negative environment. It's quite hard to raise a vibe when the majority is toxic and negative. There's only maybe two people that are quite positive. It's quite hard to lift that. And what happened was I just came down to that state, which wasn't good. But I think at the moment, particularly in work, I've talked about this before, but in work with my friends, I feel, really positive all of the time because I'm having really good conversations with people. Even in work, talking like you talk about shit a lot of the time, but even that's really high vibe shit. It's TV programs that make you feel good, not just slumping in front of it, eating chocolates and drinking wine, but actually TV programs that empower you and make you feel happy and alive. And I do feel at the moment that I've just got a lot of people around me that raise my vibe without trying and without me being in a low state that needs raising. It's just I'm feeding off everybody else's energy and I feel that's increasing my energy and they in turn are probably feeding off mine. And it's just a really nice place to be.
Yeah, that is a good spot to be in, isn't it? And talked about that last night as well, didn't we? About like trying to make a conscious effort to be around the people that are like giving off the energy that you want. So whether if that's a goal that you're looking for, whether it's money related or relationship related, getting around people that are in that space already to get that positive energy from them as well. And it helps you vision being in that space too more when you see it more in front of you too.
Well, if you You reap what you sow, don't you? If you hang around with a load of mood hoovers who talk about how shit the world is, and to be fair, there's a lot of things to moan about at the moment. I just ignore it and zone out of it. But if you hang around with people like that, eventually you will feel like that. You will feel that the world is a big dark place. On on the other hand, if you hung around with 10 millionaires and hung out with them constantly, after a while, you will think that making your first millions a doddle. Because that's what their conversation will be like. It will be about how they've made money or how they got there and where they're going now. You would feel it would be easy because that's what you're listening to, that level of conversation. It's the same with everything. So if you are looking to make changes in your life, raise parts of your life, improve things, find those people that you I don't know, maybe feel a little bit envious. Go and make friends with them. Go and find out. There's a really good line in what's that film called? It's such a motivational film. The Wolf of Wall Street. I know it's rude. I know it's got loads of sex and drugs in it, but the basic premise of it is so motivational. I know he's breaking the law, but it's still a real good rags to riches story. And he drives this particular car. I don't know what, 'cause I'm not really a car person. And the guy who he ends up working with says to him, How have you got that car? How much money do you earn? What do you do? And when he tells him, he's like, right, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to work with you and you're going to show me how to do that. And I was like, that's all we all need to do. I don't suggest you quit your job, but all we need to do is hang around with those people, find those people, go to networking events, go to, seek these people out, the people that you want to be. If you want to be happily married, go and find the happily married people and hang around with them and listen to them talk about how happy their marriage is. And chances are you're going to put that into your own marriage, or you're going to think, I'm married to the wrong person. You're going to get rid of them. You're going to find the right person. There are answers out there, aren't there, for everything we need if we just seek it.
Yeah, exactly. Be open to it. Be in the spaces that are doing it. If it's like a fitness goal, go to some kind of fitness space that works for you, whether that's like a yoga studio or a fitness class or gym or just walking around your local park. Just, be in the spaces that you'll find people that are doing the things that you're aspiring to do already.
Yeah. And they've got the results, like just literally ask them how have they done that and copy them. And it sounds really simplistic, but I think this is the whole thing about manifesting and that we do. It's as easy as you want it to be. If you want to make your life difficult, we can all do that. We can all make life as hard as possible. But the opposite is also true. You can make it like really easy as well if you choose to. And that's definitely the path I'm taking at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And like having fun with it as well. Like, that is so important. I'm really trying to do that with the yoga business, like not just worry about it or stress about it or it become a difficult thing. Just be like, oh, should I try this now? Or should I try that? Or wouldn't this be fun to give that a go? And, just really enjoy the things you're working on. Have fun.
Have fun. And my favourite phrase, which you taught me and I called my business after, is make it count. Like, you're right, you could have a yoga business and worry about where your next penny's coming from, or you could just have fun with it. Just choose happy.
Yeah, exactly. Choose happy, choose joy. Joy is one of my words for this year. So, yeah, I'm definitely seeking out those opportunities for like more joy and making sure I focus on it. Yeah. And it wouldn't be me talking about wellness without mentioning yoga nidra as well, of course, or whatever variety of yoga or meditation or things that you're into as well, because the benefits of things like that are just amazing. Like doing the yoga nidra so regularly, even me delivering it is just making me feel so good, so grounded and centered and chilled and happy.
And that's all we want, isn't it, really, to feel happy? Do you know, we were going to obviously talk about wellness, and I was thinking this morning about what type of things we do to make us feel mentally well. And one of my things that it feels ridiculous, but it's so true, is decluttering. Decluttering makes me feel like I'm on top of the world and I've got my life nailed if I can just tidy mainly the office. the desk in the office, or I cleaned the house yesterday. I had a spare hour, and what I really wanted to do was lie on the sofa and watch Below Deck. But I decided to clean the house, thinking if I do it now, I can kind of relax on Sunday and have a really nice day, which is exactly how it's panned out. But also, me and you went out last night, and I went out leaving the house clean, which is unheard of on a Saturday night because I clean on a Sunday. And just doing that, all I did was do a few pots, put the dust around, put the hoover around, but it made such a difference. And I've definitely talked about this before on the podcast, because someone who I know has listened to it and now copies it, which is good, is just 10 things. I use this for Charlotte. I use it for me when I can't be arsed cleaning or decluttering, or the house is a mess and I just think, oh, good God, where do I start? I just do 10 things, and those 10 things make such a difference. So Charlotte's room particularly, which is always like a bomb site, just pick up 10 things. Pick up 10 things off the floor and put them away. And then usually in the kitchen, if I think I don't want to wash up, I'll just wash 10 things, because I'm stood up washing them. I think I may as well finish the pots, and I've done them. And then it kind of leads me to do something else. And even though I love yoga and I love meditating and I love, another quick win for me is opening up the magic not the magic, the power at a random page and reading it. And I can always take something from that. I read that like people read the Bible. That lifts my mood massively. And a bit of cleaning does it as well. Put some music on, blitz the house. I mean, I have to do it really quickly because I don't like cleaning, but yeah, just a bit of decluttering cheers me up immensely.
Yeah, absolutely. What makes you feel good?
It does. It then spurs me on to think, right, I've done that. I've had a load of emails in my inbox for ages that I've had to do something with, and they're all very complicated and very technical. One's to do with solar panels for the house, and honestly, this form I've got to fill in, every time I see it, I just want to puke because it's just that complicated. But this week I was like, I'm just going to do 3 emails, and I did 3, and I thought I'm going to do another 3. I cleared my inbox. My inbox hasn't been cleared since I moved into this house last April. I'm still sorting out stuff from the house move that I've just put off because it's quite time consuming. So because I'd done I think I'd done washing that day, it kind of escalated into, right, I'm doing something. I feel a bit positive. I'm going to do this other thing. I'm going to do this other thing. And I went to bed. I was on such a high. That sounds really sad. I was doing jobs that I didn't want to do, but because I completed them, I was like, yay.
Yeah, because they've been on your mind all that time. So it is really satisfying, isn't it?
It is. And the thing with the solar panels, I'm going to make money from it. I've actually not made money for nearly a year because I've not done something, which is ridiculous, but it is what it is. So yeah, there's going to be that benefit from it as well. It's not just about, your things to do list and ticking it off. There's a financial gain to that as well. It just took an hour to sort out one email, and I just spent the time doing it. So yeah, I think whatever lifts you, and sometimes it can be something as restful as yoga or meditation, but sometimes it can be something really practical. That definitely lifts my mood. I think I'm more, and I think this is why I struggle with meditation a little bit. I always want to be doing something. I want to be active.
Yeah.
That works for me more than resting, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, whatever works.
Yeah, exactly. It's finding your own thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Michael Mosley last night, which I actually took pictures of, I don't know whether you noticed, he spoke at the very end of 10 things that will elevate your life, and I took pictures of them. I thought I'd read them out on the podcast. So number 1 is keep junk food out of the house. I know that's difficult when you've got kids, but Number 2, keep active. Number 3, try to eat a broadly Mediterranean diet. Number 4, prioritise your sleep. I'm very good at that. Number 5, expose yourself to sunlight. You're very good at that. Number 6, practice restricted eating, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm doing a bit of intermittent fasting. Number 7, try yoga and meditation. You're all over that. Number 8, stand on your scales once a week. I'm doing that daily at the moment because it does inspire me not to eat shit. Number 9, use your belt hang on, I've got a microphone in the way.
That was instead of the scales, wasn't it?
Yeah, use your belt. If it starts to get tighter, do something about it. And number 10, encourage support.
Oh yeah, that was quite nice actually, because they finished on saying like love and connection and relationships are like the biggest indicator of how long you'll live for. So yeah, work on your love and relationships as well.
Yeah.
Top tips indeed. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we hope that's given some insight into what we're doing on health and wellness, and hopefully made you think about what you're doing or what you might want to do as well. And yeah, let us know how you're getting on with your health and wellness, and if you want us to share any of those resources that we've talked about as well, give us a shout. Otherwise, we shall see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Manifestation Pod with me, Sam Billingham, and Louise Marshall. Please follow, subscribe, and rate our pod. Share with friends to support two ordinary mums living extraordinary lives.